April's first Twitch stream right here, kicking off a new month. Today is the first, so excited to be back here. Another cool topic today. One I probably could have done a while ago, but I just now pretty much got around to doing it, and that is email lists for musicians, whether you're an artist, producer. It's something that you can utilize to build an audience, build a fan base, be able to communicate better with your fan base as well outside of social media because, I think relying solely on social media for communication, it doesn't always work very well. A great example is actually what just happened to me in December. I actually had my Instagram account hacked, and so it was hacked to the point where I couldn't even log back into my account. And because I wasn't verified with Meta, they couldn't help me at all. So that account got lost. And that was an account I had even before I started making music. I mean, I had that account since probably like 2011. So you're looking at 13 years, pretty much gone. But that's just kind of what happens with social media. It things like that can happen. And obviously, I've gotten verified on my new account, so I've added an extra layer of security. In case that ever happens again, I can get in touch with Meta, and they can actually help me. So I learned my lesson the hard way, and it's crazy because Instagram for me is a pretty big point of communication with a lot of people through direct messaging and just keeping up with what other people have going on as well. So that was tough. It was something that was kind of a pain. But luckily, I also have other accounts elsewhere, and I also have an email list where a lot of people are that I work with, a lot of people that are fans of my work as well. And I use it to promote a lot of different things, mostly give news updates. Let people know about projects that I have coming out, merch giveaways, things of that nature. There's so many different possibilities and so many different ways you can utilize a mailing list. And I have mine through MailChimp. I've been using MailChimp now for probably, I want to say since probably 2021 or 2022, somewhere in there. So it's been a good while of using them. And I actually just rearranged my account to give myself more of a discount every month, and that bill actually just went out today. So I can tell you that I pay around $50 currently per month for my email list, and I believe I have over 1,500 contacts that I can utilize. And I don't think I'm fully at the 1,500. I think I'm somewhere around the 1,200 range as far as the amount of people that are subscribed. And obviously not everybody's going to interact with your stuff all the time, but it's good to have that as a secondary option. So basically today what I wanted to do was go into more detail about how you can set up one of these email lists, and specifically for you as a music maker, how can you utilize it to help you in other ways and give you that direct line of communication with your fan base and people you're trying to work with and all kinds of others as well. So 3 different articles I found this week once again. One is by Splice, another from Icon Collective, which is the one we're going to go over, and the other one is by Cyber PR. So the one we're going to be covering today is a little shorter. It's called Email Marketing for Musicians, How to Build a Mailing List. It says, let me see when this was published real quick, see if there's a date on this. I don't see a date on this, but I believe it's still relatively new. I think it's probably within the last year or so this was published. It says, why should musicians use email marketing? One of the best promotional strategies for musicians is email marketing. Email marketing allows you to connect with your fans and followers directly. Email is also the most effective way to get your fans' attention and tell them to take action. Social media is also a primary marketing tool for musicians. However, it's harder to reach all your fans through social media. Your message gets buried in all of the noise. You're fighting for attention against the competition, and platforms restrict post reach. Plus, your fans are more likely to see an email before a social media post. And that's another thing I didn't mention. Obviously, with the way the algorithms work as well, that is true. You know, even if the person's following you, it doesn't necessarily mean they're seeing everything you're putting out, which is just unfortunate. You know, times have changed. If this was in 2013, people were seeing everything that whoever they followed was posting, and they were mostly only seeing their followers' content. Now you're seeing a lot of things that you probably don't even want to see, and the things that you do want to see, you might not be seeing as often, which just sucks. You know, it's something we can't control, unfortunately, but we just got to do our best, and, you know, having something like this can help a lot. It's also essential for musicians to connect with their fans regularly. That's why it's vital to build an email list of fans you can reach and engage with directly. Moreover, email marketing is an effective way to promote your brand, announce new releases, tour dates, merch, music, videos, and other important news. However, maintaining an email marketing campaign can be challenging. Here are some email marketing tips for musicians. So the first one is email marketing services. So again, we're going to go into some of the different services you can use to set up your mailing list. Before you collect emails, you must first choose an email marketing platform. Email marketing services provide features that collect and manage email lists, send bulk emails, collect analytics, support integrations, and provide other emailing tools. Many also offer newsletter templates and an integrated editor to customize professional-looking email campaigns. There are various email marketing services. It's important to choose one that offers the email marketing features that meet your needs. Here are 5 email marketing services for musicians. They don't give a full breakdown on these, and I don't think they have the links either. So a lot of the articles we've covered the past few weeks, they've had the links. They're just giving names here, so you're going to have to look these up by yourself. You're going to have to do a little bit of legwork on your own. But number 1 is called HubSpot. Never heard of HubSpot myself. Number 2 is MailChimp, which is the one I said I use. To me, it's the best one. It's also probably the biggest name as far as, you know, doing the email list thing. I'm trying to think of another. Let me read the rest of this list real quick. ActiveCampaign, which I have heard of. FanBridge, which I believe is strictly for musicians, and Aweber. So I've only heard of a couple of those. I'm trying to think. I think there's, I want to say there's another one on the tip of my tongue. It's a big one. But again, you can go do your research on this. There's way more than that, of course. They're just giving ones that help specifically for creatives. And like I said, my experience with MailChimp has been pretty good. The pricing, like I said, you kind of got to watch that. I had to restructure my plan because it ended up getting pretty high. At one point, it was almost $75 or $80 a month. So I had to kind of reel it back in. Get rid of some contacts that weren't engaging in my content and kind of just restructure the whole thing. And now I'm paying, like I said, around $50 a month, which is a lot more reasonable. If you can afford to pay more, though, and you want to take on more contacts and be able to send more emails every month, go ahead. I mean, right now I'm averaging probably sending 1 to 2 big emails a month. I'm not sending emails every single day or even every single week. I'm really just sending for, you know, big drops. Like I just sent one on Friday for my new single that just dropped. Things like that. I'm going to be doing some stuff this month with my new project too. You have to ask yourself the questions of, you know, how often are you going to be sending messages to people? You know, are you going to send bi-weekly? Are you going to send every week? Are you going to send once a month? Like, just kind of get a schedule and a routine in place. And that's really what I've done the last year and a half, is try to get a schedule in place of, like, when am I going to send? When can people expect it? And another thing is, you know, during the week, sending on certain days, too. exactly how I release the podcast every Tuesday. When I send emails, I'm usually sending those every Wednesday or Friday. That's the days I picked. Middle of the week, end of the work week. That's just what I picked. I can't really give you a real reason why I did that. It's just what I decided on based on my schedule and what I thought was the right thing to do. So I would recommend doing that as well. Just kind of thinking of ways to be able to schedule out your emails in a way that makes sense and is pretty organized and just gives people something to expect. When can they expect emails from you? So number 2, how to build the email list. Once you choose the marketing service, start building your email list. There are several strategies for collecting email addresses. Here are 5 ways to collect emails. Number 1, add an email sign-up form to your music website. An email sign-up form on your music website provides visitors with a quick, convenient way to subscribe to your list. Embedded opt-in email forms are also easy to add to a site and are proven to work. MailChimp users have seen their list growth rate increase by over 50% after adding a pop-up from their site. So what I've done in the past is, for a while, probably for 5 or 6 years, I would give out free beats. So I would give people like a pack of 5 or 10 free beats. It was always the same 5 or 10. I wasn't giving everybody different beats because you really can't do that, especially if you're sending to a lot of artists. But what I would do is I'd send them, a zip file or something attached with free beats. And if they download it, all they'd have to do to download it is put their email in, and it would immediately sign them up for the email list. Another thing I had set up for a while on BeatStars, I had MailChimp integration there, where if people got the free downloads of the beat, they could use it to write to. But if they did the free download, they'd also be signed up automatically for the email list. So different things like that. That's an example of what the opt-in would be. For you, it could be totally different. My biggest thing with that is please be upfront and honest with people about that, because I had a lot of people that would get super upset that they would get beats, but then they'd be on some email list. So I would have to explain that's kind of the trade-off for you getting this free thing, is you're going to be put on the mailing list. If you don't want to, feel free to unsubscribe. But it's up to you to let people know about that, because a lot of people, even if it says it in the messaging or whatever opt-in you put, they will still get upset, because that's just how people are, or people just don't read, so they won't know. So I would recommend, being upfront about that, letting people know, and just say, hey, you're going to be put on an email list, but if you don't want to be on it, just feel free to unsubscribe. I'm not going to get mad. It's not going to be a big deal. But just to let you know. So just give them that warning, ahead of time. Make your email sign-up form stand out so your visitors will notice it. For example, embed the sign-up form in a prominent area on your site that's visible on all pages. Or create a pop-up from your visitors form. Trying to figure out if this is form or from. Create a pop-up form your visitors will immediately see once they visit your site. And that was another big thing that I was always taught. When you do one of these call to actions, definitely don't make it too crowded or noisy. If you're doing the sign-up form, have a little bit of a text, maybe a small paragraph explaining what it is, and then just put the link right there so they can see it. Use, colors that are used for call to action, like red or yellow or something bright to call attention to it. Just get to the point. Don't do a ton of stuff that you don't need to do, because if it's a landing page especially, the whole goal from the landing page is just to get people to sign up. So that's pretty much it. Moreover, add an effective call to action that will persuade people to submit their email to your list. Also, tell fans what they get for opting in. A generic sign up to my newsletter will not convince anyone to subscribe. list benefits like regular music updates, tour dates, exciting news, and other exclusive surprises. And again, that can be done even from a bulleted list. Like if you want to put all that in a couple little bullets and make the text look super inviting and exciting but not too busy, that's probably the best way to go, I would think. Finally, keep the email sign up form simple, which is what I just said. The easier it is to fill out, the more subscribers you'll get. Name and email address will suffice. Next up, we have offer incentives for email addresses, which is what I was just describing with giving out free stuff. Persuade people to give their email in exchange for an exclusive incentive. Offer a free music download, discount on merch, exclusive access to content, etc. In addition, your email sign-up form will perform better if you reward fans for subscribing to your list. Also, most email marketing services offer an autoresponder feature that will deliver details about the exclusive offers. Collect emails in person at gigs. I've never done this, so this one's a new one for me. Print out mailing list sign-up sheets and place it on your merch table. After the show, add the email addresses to your mailing list and email your subscribers, thanking them for coming out. Also, don't place the list at your table and hope for signups. Offer an incentive in exchange for emails like a discount on merch, free stickers, or a button. Moreover, encourage fans to sign up for the mailing list on stage during the set. I'm glad they explained that, because for a second there I was thinking, well, what is the success rate of that? Probably not pretty good. But if you are giving out anything free, that's the reason to do it right there. In exchange for that, you get this. Use social media to grow your email list. Social media is a valuable asset for musicians. A strong social media presence is essential for promoting your music, engaging with fans, and expanding your fan base. Having an effective social media strategy also connects you with music industry peers and presents new opportunities. Utilize Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube, and other platforms to connect with fans. Leverage your social media accounts to connect emails with these tips. Add a call to action button on Facebook to drive traffic to your site. Facebook's call to action button also offers a sign up option to grow your email list. Include a call to action in your social media bio sections. Also include a link that goes to a landing page with an email sign-up form. For example, download my exclusive single here. What I've always done is, if you have Linktree, it's a service that allows you to host multiple links at once. I always put my Linktree in all my social media, and one of the links in my Linktree is always my mailing list, and it says sign up for my mailing list. So I just put that in there too. So you could do that even if you don't want to make it the main link in your bio. Create a lead generating Facebook ad. You could target an exact demographic and direct your message to the right people. Run a contest or giveaway. Announce the contest on social media. Describe the content, add a catchy hashtag, and link to a landing page that requires an email address to participate. Create YouTube tutorials with a call to action link and an end screen. You can also add call to action video description. Host Twitter chats, which do they still do those? They had like the spaces thing in X, Twitter, whatever. Maybe they do, I don't know. Or DMs, maybe they could be talking about that too. Chats bring like-minded people together to ask questions and discuss particular topics. Use this feature to engage with fans and collect email addresses. Also incorporate lead generation cards. These cards allow you to collect email addresses straight from Twitter. I did not know that. So if that's still a thing, I guess I'll look into that too. If you use Twitter a lot, I don't really use Twitter that much. I kind of just post and I leave. But if you're on there a lot, check it out. Facebook page apps. Direct fans to your music website or another place that offers incentives in exchange for addresses. Also, explain to people why they should sign up to your list. Cross promote with other artists. Cross promoting with another artist can double the exposure of your release and fan following, which we've discussed before in the collaboration sections that we've done about cross promotion and the power that has in a lot of different ways. Start a music blog or podcast. Posting quality content to a music blog is a sure way to attract visitors and grow your email list. Engaging and informative content also gets fans visiting your site regularly. Every blog, article, or podcast you post is also an opportunity to promote your mailing list and brand. Moreover, encourage fans to sign up to your email list with a call to action. I've never promoted my email list on the podcast, but it is a good idea. Like I said, to me, it's never been like the biggest deal in the world, but I definitely kind of make it readily available. I believe even some of the videos on YouTube, if not all of them, I honestly don't remember. I put that link in the description of most of my videos too, just, as an option that people can have. Email marketing, best practices, craft an enticing subject line. Personalize the email with the subscriber's name. Keep the email short. Each email should have one main purpose or goal. Tell your subscribers what you want them to do, which is the call to action. Make the email experience meaningful, engaging, and personalized, which I kind of like how a lot of the email services will let you kind of narrow things down. You can send one-off emails, or you can create a certain group to send to only certain subscribers. If your messaging is only meant for, a handful of those people, you can kind of narrow it down and make things strictly for them, which I think is super awesome. Again, something else social media cannot do. So that's something to keep in mind. Always include the call to action. Include links to social media and websites. Utilize email marketing automation. I usually schedule emails way in advance. And I have some automated journeys that I've set up as well that everybody can go through. Like one email will lead to another. If they open that, it'll lead to another. You can kind of set up little journeys for people, customer journeys, depending on if you're selling something or not. But really creating experiences for people, that's a big thing. Knowing your audience. Make sure your newsletter is mobile friendly. Send exclusive emails. Schedule newsletters. Be consistent. And finally, thank your subscribers. Include a sincere thanks for being a fan and a part of the community. So in conclusion, your email list is like an official fan club. Email marketing is an effective way to connect with fans, promote your brand, and stay relevant in the industry. To emphasize, email marketing is an essential promotional strategy that will boost your career. And that says good luck. So I like that article. It's very concise. It gives pretty much the main points, because I don't think any of this stuff is rocket science personally. I think it's rather simple. I think just people overlook the whole email thing because we are very trained on social media nowadays. And social media is just a lot more sexy if we're being frankly honest. There's really nothing super enticing about emails that much. But I think the message is that if you can make it enticing and unique and build a world over there, then people will care. You have to make it enticing and you got to make people care about it. So you got to put a little bit more work in. But to me, it's worth it, especially being able to have that direct access to these people through just having their email address. And not everybody has an email address, believe it or not. But the people that do and the people that are really, fans of your music and what you're doing, they will want to sign up as long as you make it interesting and make it engaging. So even if you want to look for, a virtual assistant or somebody else out there that specializes in email marketing to help you out, if you feel like you can't do this all on your own, I'd probably recommend going that route as well. But just have fun with it. It's just like anything else. It's just like making content for social media. Just start experimenting, have fun with it, try to build your audience. It's gonna take a lot of time. Like I said, I've gotten over 1,000 to mine, but that's taken 4 or 5 years to do. Like it didn't happen overnight, obviously, and trying to get people to engage there too is another thing. But like I said, to me, I think the work you would put in for that is worth it, and the payoff will be there for sure. And you never know, you might make some money over there too. So I think it's just something to keep in mind as another option. And like I said, I mainly wanted to touch on this based on my recent social media scares of just losing an account that I had for so long. And it's like, what would I have done if I didn't have an email list to fall back on at the time and get in touch with some of those contacts? You might just be dead in the water. So it's something to really keep in mind because it is a reality. But that's pretty much it. I mean, that's not really, like I said, a super deep, in-depth topic, but I think it was something I wanted to cover, something I felt was important. So, yeah. So next week, we're going to be back April 8th, Tuesday once again. We're going to be talking about Record Store Day, which is coming up on April 12th. Not this coming Saturday, but next Saturday. Officially Record Store Day. So I'm going to be going over, what you can do to go support your local record shop if you have one in your area. Hopefully you do. There's a lot of great independent record stores out there. Pretty much going to be breaking down what Record Store Day is, ways you can help, and just ways you can let other people know about it too, because I think physical music and vinyl and even CDs and cassettes still a big thing that helps independent artists, and a big thing that just helps local shop owners and local communities and keeps the music going. So that's going to be a really cool one to cover next week. But until then, as always, thank you guys for tuning in. This will be on YouTube once again. All 3 of those links will be in the description of the replay, so definitely go check them all out. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Hope you guys have a safe and great rest of the week. Happy April Fools if that's something you celebrate out there. But springtime is almost here, so I'm definitely excited for more streams coming soon. But we'll see you next Tuesday, April 8th. Until then, take care, guys.